Hello everyone. As you all know, we outpassed 10k views on the last top 10 worst premium tanks video, and a lot of you asked me in the comment to do the same but for the top 10 best. So that's exactly what we're gonna do here, reviewing the top 10 of the best premium tanks in World of Tanks Blitz. Let's first start with the AMX M4 1949. This tank is a French tier 8 heavy one, and what is amazing about this tank is the fact that it has nearly everything to seduce you. You have a great armor, a great gun and a great mobility. The only problem of the tank is that you have a really weak side armor, but you can really outsmart this little detail by just going in front of your enemies without trying to angle it. Let's stay in tier 8 and talk about the Chrysler K, which is a tier 8 American heavy tank. Two great things about the tank: the armor and the mobility compared to the armor. Really, having this kind of mobility with this kind of armor is truly overpowered. The only problem of the tank is the gun, which lacks a bit of penetration, but as you have gold, it's really easy to forget it and just spam gold everywhere when you need it, which is why this tank is in this top. Wargaming released quite a lot of tier 8 Russian heavy tanks, the IS-6, the IS-5, the ZZ-112-2, etc. But truly this one is the best of all. Why? Because it has quite the same gun as every other tier 8 heavy Russian tank, but you have a crazy armor. You have spaced armor everywhere, and at the front your armor can go up to 270. That's why this tank is in this top, because from all the tier 8 Russian heavy tanks, this one is the most armored. Most of the time, you have to choose between three things: having a great gun, or a great armor, or a great mobility. And even if you have a good gun or a good mobility, you will always have a downside, such as the gun depression. Here, that's truly not the case of the WZ-121 GFT, because this tank has everything. The armor is OP. The gun is great, having a great reload time, a good alpha damage, a good accuracy, and a great gun depression. And the mobility is quite awesome as well. Really, this tank has no downside except the fact that you don't have a turret, which is quite common for a tank destroyer. So I would definitely recommend it to you. It's the most overpowered tank destroyer of the game. And another quite OP tank is the Scorpion G, but on a different scale than the WZ-121 GFT. Why? Because this tank has no armor, and that's why you need to be an excellent player to make it really OP. So, what do you have to know about this tank? With the Jagdpanther 8.8, this one has the best gun at tier 8 in my opinion, because the alpha is great, the reload is great, and the accuracy is terrible. You also have a really great camouflage, so if you want to play it aggressively you can, but try to play it really smartly, because if you don't, you are gonna get wrecked with it. But still, it's one great tank, but you definitely need skill to be able to do something with it. Now we can talk about the tier 7 lights, and let's start with the Type 62. This tank is amazing. This is the best light in the game in my opinion, with the Dracula. Even if it's not a light, you can play it as well like this. But really, what makes the tank really effective here is the gun. 4.9 seconds of reload for 200 of damage. This is quite incredible at this tier, and you are gonna rip everyone apart because of this gun, which is coming with a great camouflage because you're a light tank. And that's exactly how you want to play your Type 62. You want to be away from your opponents to be able to sneak some shots, but you can also use your great mobility to be able to circle them or to push them straight. Definitely, this tank is crazy even if you don't have any armor. The T3485 Rudy is tier 7 medium Russian tank. This tank is crazy for two main things. The first one is its mobility, which is really quite enjoyable and can be compared to the T3485 at tier 6, but with a better one at tier 7. And the second fact making the tank one of the funniest to play at tier 7 is its gun. You have a really quick reload time for 250 alpha damage for something like 4.2 seconds of reload, something like that. I can't see through the screen right now, but yeah, definitely this tank is worth it, and you clearly want to have it in your garage if you want to learn how to play your mediums. I couldn't do this top without talking about the Dracula, the tier 7 medium tank. Why? Because of 3 things. The first one is the gun. The gun is crazy because you have a really good penetration, a good gun depression and a good reload. The mobility is crazy because you simply have the best mobility at tier 7. You will go from 0 to 60 kilometers per hour in less than 5 or 6 seconds. That's really crazy. And one last thing people seem to forget about the tank is that you have really fast repairing tracks. What do I mean by that? When someone is gonna track you, your tracks are gonna take less than 3 seconds to be able to run again, and that's really something important you want to notice about the tank when you're playing it. Let's stay in tier 7 with the Dracula's brother, the Singh. This tank is crazy for 3 things. The first one is the mobility. You'll get around 40 kilometers, which is quite enjoyable for a tier 7 tank destroyer, but you also have a fully traversable turret, which is really rare for tanks of this tier, especially for tank destroyers. The second fact is the armor. Really, the tank is angled everywhere, making it really difficult sometimes to be able to penetrate it. And the last thing is the gun. Your gun is crazy, one of the best at tier 7. You have one of the best DPM, one of the best reloads, and really what is crazy is also the accuracy. I definitely recommend this tank, and I would definitely recommend the Singh more than the Dracula because of all the things I just cited. And the award of the most overpowered tank ever implemented in World of Tank Blaze goes to the Kenny Otsu, the tier 3 Japanese light tank. This tank is crazy for one main reason, the gun. At tier 3 you'll have more than 2000 DPM, which means you'll have a better DPM than most of tier 8, but at tier 3. Really, I don't think Wargaming even thought about it when they released it, and that's why it's never gonna be on sale again, I hope, because it's a broken tank and it's breaking the matchmaking so hard. Having this kind of tank in your team is a success of a win guaranteed 100%. Yeah, that's all I have to say about this tank. The rest of the tank is pretty common. You have an average mobility, you don't have any armor, but the gun is so crazy that you outpass everything. You can outpass every downside the tank could have. So yeah, here it is. I'm gonna leave you with the replay that I had to borrow to someone on YouTube because I don't own the tank myself, because it was on sale only once and I didn't really play the tank when it was released. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the top. I didn't want it to mix collector tanks and premium tanks, that's why I'm not talking about the T22 medium, I'm not talking about the Smasher, etc. And I hope you liked the video. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like and share. Don't forget, you're not here to be better but to be the best, and tell me in the comments what is your top 10. I want to know. Thank you all and see you later.